All right, today we're going to talk about something incredible. We're journeying to the heart of India, to a landscape that almost shimmers in the sun, the Aravalli. Now, this isn't just any old mountain range. This is a piece of our planet's history, and you know what? Its story is our story too.
To really get your head around the Aravalli, you have to think big. I'm talking deep time. 3 billion years ago, when our planet was still, this chaotic, molten world, this range started to rise. It was standing here long before the first complex life even thought about crawling out of the oceans. That's right. Before the Himalayas shot up into the sky, before the Alps, there was the Aravalli. It's one of the original mountain systems of our world. I mean, think about it. Worn down by billions of years of wind and rain, but it's still here, this incredible monument to time itself.
But look, this is so much more than a geological wonder. It's a symbol of civilization, a cradle for entire ecosystems. Really, it's a living thing with a story to tell. So let's listen in.
First things first, let's talk about its fundamental role. People often call the Aravalli India's ancient spine. And honestly, for very good reason. It really does form the geological and cultural backbone of the whole region.
So, what are we looking at? The Aravalli is a 700-kilometer-long mountain chain, and it kind of slices diagonally right across western India. And as you're about to see, its location is everything.
Let's trace its path for a second. The range starts as these low ridges up in Delhi. Then it runs down through Haryana, and then it becomes the absolute heart of the state of Rajasthan, before finally kind of fading away into the plains of Gujarat. It connects and defines this huge part of the subcontinent.
Okay, so this brings us to this idea of the Aravalli as a great green wall. And that name, it perfectly captures its most critical job, being this massive ecological barrier. The contrast is just stark. I mean, look at this. To the west of the Aravalli, you've got the super arid, sandy Thar Desert. And to the east, fertile plains, river basins, just teeming with life. The range is literally the dividing line between two completely different worlds.
So how does it do it? Well, the Aravalli basically acts as this vital shield. It physically blocks the desert from creeping any further east. It catches the monsoon clouds, forcing them to drop their rain, which then feeds all the region's rivers. And crucially, it protects major cities like Delhi from the worst of the desert's nasty dust storms.
And all that water, all that shelter provided by this green wall, it creates a sanctuary. It's a refuge for an absolutely incredible variety of wildlife in a region that's otherwise pretty dry. We're talking about elusive leopards that haunt its rocky cliffs, jackals, these large antelopes called the nilgai, and of course, peacocks. It's a total haven for hundreds of bird species, making it a supercritical hub for biodiversity.
So, we've gone from the natural world, now let's turn to the human one. Because the Aravalli isn't just some backdrop to history. It's an active player, a true witness to the rise and fall of empires.
You know, as one source put it, the range is a living chapter of history. Every single fort on its peaks, every shrine tucked away in its valleys, they all tell a story.
And this connection goes back for millennia. From its geological birth, the Aravalli became this strategic fortress for medieval kingdoms like Mewar, and it's been a spiritual sanctuary for sages for centuries.
So here's the key thing. These hills were both a shield and a sanctuary. They protected legendary warriors like Rana Pratap, giving him the high ground to defend his homeland. And its highest peak, Mount Abu, with places like the stunning Dilwara temples, has been this center for meditation and spiritual retreat forever.
But that brings us to the modern era, and to a brand new chapter in the Aravalli's long, long story. And this chapter, it's all about conflict. This is the battle for the Aravalli itself.
The soul of these ancient mountains is now wounded. After surviving for 3 billion years, the Aravalli is facing its greatest threat ever, and it's us.
The main threats are pretty clear and direct. Uncontrolled, often illegal mining for minerals and building materials, and just widespread deforestation to make room for cities. I mean, entire hills have literally vanished.
And the consequences are just as direct. As the Aravallis gets weaker, its ability to act as that green wall just falters. Rivers that rely on its water catchments are drying up, and the air quality in cities like Delhi just gets worse and worse without its natural shield against all that desert dust. But the story doesn't end there. The battle is being fought, and there really is hope.
Across the entire range, a movement to save the Aravalli is growing. And this isn't just one group. It's a whole coalition. It's local communities who get its value firsthand, out there planting saplings to reforest the bare hills. It's scientists studying the delicate ecosystem, and it's a growing number of government and nonprofit groups working together to heal this ancient landscape.
And this brings us to our final and maybe the most important idea. The Aravalli is not just a mountain range, it is the heartbeat of the earth, a living, breathing system that keeps everything around it alive. So the story of this 3-billion-year-old range, it ends with a question for us. Are we going to be the generation that lets that ancient heartbeat fade away, or are we going to be the one that makes sure it keeps beating for generations to come?